Okay. Hey, you guys. I'm definitely not going to leave my go live stream till, really late at night, not like yesterday. But, anyways, I have a question. Or first, before I get started, my name is Lindsay. I'm a high ticket sales coach. I help women who feel kind of lost and they don't have like a real purpose. They haven't really found that spark yet in their life. This used to be me. I help you find that and help impact other women to do the same. And it's just a beautiful thing to be a part of. Now, we're getting over a sickness. My little guy, he had a rash. I'm just so shocked that we went to the doctor today. I'm just so shocked that it's still like a viral thing and we're on like, I don't know, like day 15 here and it's like a lingering thing, but he's good, so I'm good. But yeah, so I have a question for you guys. Monday motivation and it's about do you ever feel like overwhelmed with like all the things that you should be doing, especially if you're trying to like change your life or better your life or live in your higher purpose? Because I know for me personally, I'm always trying to like balance myself, like all the things that I want to do in my business every day, and then all the things that I want to do in my relationship and being a present mom and spiritually and all those things and health, like they're all a factor. But when I look at the overall picture, I always get like overwhelmed and sometimes like there's always like one of them that isn't like hitting the mark or kind of gets left behind in just staying consistent in my life, right? So this morning I was sitting here and I was thinking and I started to ask myself a question. Like if I took the next 6 months out of the block here and asked myself like what do I want my relationship to look like in the next 6 months? And like really sit with it and like what kind of things I want to happen, how I want to feel, maybe creating more dates, things like that. And how am I showing up in my relationship right now, right? Like our kids are sick, so it's like always the first one to go, right? It's like you're an adult, you could take care of yourself, and then when your kids are sick, you're like full throttle and you're taking care of your kids, right? So yeah, so I've started to block it down like for like 6 months, the next 6 months, like how do I want to show up spiritually? And I've also started something really new, like every night now before I go to bed, instead of like being on social media or watching TV or doing all those things, like I've started to like read the Bible like every night before I go to bed. It's like a big, thick book. I have my dictionary on to actually search some of the big words that I don't know what they are. And I'm just doing it. And you know what? I feel really good doing it. And lately I've been having like really, really good dreams. And I just feel like real peace by reading this, and I'm super inspired because even today, my one of my questions was about leadership. Like, what is the best leadership book or podcast anybody can recommend it? And so many entrepreneurs or people that are like thriving to do better in their life, they say the Bible. Right. So if you want true transformation, you really want to find yourself in your life. If you really are missing that thing, like some people spirituality, like it can mean God or it can mean other things, but people highly recommend reading the Bible. Like you can find yourself by reading the Bible. It's amazing, right? So this is one of my goals in the next 6 months, that every night for the next like 30 minutes to 60 minutes, I'm going to be in my office reading, because I notice like when I'm in my bed laying down, I just kind of fall asleep. So I'm going to be intentional, and that's going to be my reading block. And I'm going to spend it on working on my spirituality and getting closer to God and finding that deeper connection, right? Another thing is like every 6 months. So in my health, like 6 months, where do I want my health to be, right? And I noticed just because I kind of fell into like old patterns, and I'm so guilty. Like I'm always trying to make sure everything is like super balanced, but it's hard. It's hard to be super balanced in every aspects of your life, but it's definitely something that I'm working on, and I definitely am aware of it, and I'm always trying to like focus and spend my time intentionally in each area. So like my health, a lot of times like when you just get busy with life or things come up, like your health is like the first thing that goes for me. It's like, oh, now I'm just tired. I don't have any time to work out, or oh, my kids are sick. Like I don't have any time for me, right? So like all these factors can come into play. But when you have like your bigger goal of like, how do I want to show up for myself in the next 6 months? And this kind of snapped me out of it because I was falling in old habits like eating poorly, just like even like my food choices and what I was cooking. And then I'm like, every day I was like, okay, I'm gonna just eat this now, and then tomorrow I'm gonna start. And then I said that for like a week. But then I was eating bad for a whole week, right? And that's the danger bit because whatever we're doing and we're compounding that effect, that is going to be like the changing factor in our life. So that's why I love asking myself, what do I want myself to look like or feel like in the next 6 months regarding my health? And it snapped me out of it and made me drink more water. My medical grade water, though, is the best. And it also made me get up and start working out. And I feel it like big time because it was like the first time I worked out. Well, I kind of took a break since November, but then before we went away, I did 2 workouts then, but I really noticed, like, when you first get back, like, everything kinda hurts and it aches and does all these things, so I worked out yesterday, and I could really feel it last night, so then today, I was like, "You know what? Instead of working out, I'm still gonna get up, and I'm gonna just still stretch those muscles because they're so sore and tight," but it's getting me back into, like, those habits of working out and moving my body and doing the thing that is important because when I am feeling my best, that's when inspiration comes. That's when your life will start thriving. Things will start working more together, more congruent when you're doing the thing and you're feeling good, right? So health is definitely a factor. So that's why I love this question. Like, what do you want your next 6 months to look like with your health, right? So we have relationships, we had spirituality, we had your health, and now like in your business. And this could be if you're working or if you have your own business, or maybe you're an online entrepreneur like myself. And like, what do you want your business to be look like in the next 6 months? And it a lot of it, like especially if you're working, it comes down to attitude, right? Like you want to be doing something that actually excites you and lights your fire. So if you're working a 9 to 5 and stuff like that, like good for you. And as long as it's something that really excites you, because life is way too short to be going to a job and working 10 to 12 hours a day if you don't like it. And this will affect everything in your life. If you're coming home cranky, you have no energy for your family or your loved ones, you're just doing it to pay your bills, like those things are going to have an effect, and they're going to have an effect on the next generation, like your kids, like they're seeing you just be compliant and go to something that doesn't light your fire. Like we are so meant for more. But if you're in alignment and you're doing the thing that actually lights your fire up, and you're creating something bigger and you're excited for like what you're doing and what you're a part of, then that's amazing. Like then you're working in your gift, and we all have gifts and we all have a greater purpose of like what we're here to do and what we're supposed to be doing. So if it doesn't excite you, don't do it, because or of course you're going to have to do it to pay your bills, but like think outside your box. Start saying to yourself like, what do I want my life to look like in the next 6 months? Maybe it's a promotion at work. Maybe it's getting a completely different job. Maybe it's starting your own business. Maybe it's creating more time and working online and less commuting and being more intentional with your time. Like whatever it is, start asking yourself, what do I want my next 6 months to look at? And from there, when you document and you write it down exactly and you have a clear vision of what you want, then you can kind of almost like time block what areas that you're going to do. Okay, these are super important in my life. I want to make time for my relationships. Maybe it's not just your spouse. Maybe you haven't talked to your friends or your family in a very long time. And I know for me, like I'm super guilty of that. Like I've been so laser focused on my business and with my family and my kids and stuff like that, that yeah, some of my friendships have definitely taken a hit now that our kids aren't doing the same thing. I'm not seeing them every day, so it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. But I definitely reached out to try and make those connections because you know what? if those people are important to you, you're going to make time for those people that add value to your life, right? If somebody's not adding value to your life and they're sucking your energy dry and you're feeling terrible after you hung out with them, then, maybe that season's over. You want to hang out with people that are lighting your fire up, fueling your fire, and your five people that you hang out with is the most influenced people in your life, and it will change your life. It's going to influence your money, your beliefs, the way you just even do your life. Like those five people are so important. So you need to make sure like you are making the best decision for yourself and your life of who you're hanging out with. And maybe it's okay. You need to say goodbye to people that aren't serving you, you know what I mean? So make sure you're asking, do these people add value to my life, right? And then yeah, and then spiritual, like if you're not religious or you don't believe in God, like you could still have a spiritual connection with yourself, like meditating, journal, yoga, um breathing, what's it called? Breath work. Sorry, breathing. I have so many incredible friends that do breath work, and I'm so blessed because they they'll do breath work classes like on me, and it's just it's so powerful to like learn how to breathe and connect with yourself. And a lot of times like you can heal some deep emotions that are stuck for you, and you can remove blocks, and you can get clarity. Meditation is also like another way just to like clear your mind, because the world is so busy, and things are bouncing off the wall where it's sending us signals like all the time, just like with Wi-Fi and all that stuff. Like that stuff is affecting our mood, right? So if you can have that space in your house or space outside or touching your feet on the ground or being near water or hugging a tree, like all those things are so grounding. And I think it's super important to connect with yourself, and you want to like embody like what is it that you want in your life, right? Because if we don't write down what we want, like then you're just wishing for stuff, and wishes are like they're just wishes, right? But if you can write something down and have a tangible thing like what I want to do in my next 6 months in spiritual, like you're going to have tangible like reachable goals where you can work on, and you're more likely to see success or see progress in that areas of your life, right? And so yeah, and I work at this all the time. Like I'm no expert, but I know like these things are all linked, and they're linked on how we feel and how we're vibrating and the frequency. It also is affecting like our money too, right? So like if one of them is out of alignment or is lacking, then it's going to hinder your frequency and your vibration and the money that you're going to be able to call in, right? So like if you are having a hard day at work, or maybe you're not getting along with your spouse, and it's just like constant like friction, like that is going to energetically affect your vibration and your frequency, and you're not going to be an energetical match for what you're actually calling in or what you're doing to change your life, because we are a value exchange, right? When we can make ourselves more valuable and give service and help others do it, we are going to be rewarded. That's why it doesn't matter if you are working a 9 to 5 or you're doing all those things, as long as you are in your passion and you're excited about what you're doing. That's the key. That is the key to learning more, going through growth pains, becoming more valuable and doing the thing, right? Like you want to be excited and you want to have passion. If you don't have any passion, then you shouldn't do it. And of course, like, yes, there's times like we do have to like pay our bills and things like that. And but how long are you going to compromise yourself and your own needs and your own desires for a paycheck, right? So really dig deep, like what is it that you really want in your life? And you can start cultivating it and calling it in whatever it is, right? But trying to get all of these things alignment and the same frequency and always working on making yourself feel good, because when you're feeling good, you're going to do more things. You're more productive. It's scientifically proven. Like, it's way easier to get out of bed when you're feeling good, right? I'm getting over a cold and sick kids. Like, this is probably like day 17 and I'm still like stuffed up, and I'm just like, how can this possibly go on this long? I have no idea, but it is. And you know what? It's I guess it's just my body just telling me like I need to slow down and step back and look at the bigger picture, right? Um Especially like when we're doing too much. If we're doing too much and we're not filling our cup, then we're going to be depleted, and we're going to have like setbacks, and we're going to have these things that are going to come up for us to just be more self-aware so that we can be more focused on what it is we really want. Because when we have those big goals and those big whys and those dreams, and you're going for stuff, that's when you're going to see the movement in your life. That's when you have a clear path, right? So those are my tips for Motivation Monday. And yeah, thank you so much for popping on. Please smash these hearts, share this video, especially tag anybody if you think that they would find any value from this. And I just want to say thank you so much for the love and support. Hashtag replay if you're watching this. And yeah, thank you for joining me on my 100-day lives and supporting me on this journey, because this was a big fear of mine, was to be seen and heard, or like come online and speak of my feelings and things like that. So it took me a long time to like bust through this. Probably like day 15 where I finally didn't think that the live button was going to kill me, but it doesn't. And I feel so much more empowered by pushing through those fears. And that's the thing, like your fears are just an indicator of like where you need to go in your life, because it's not meant to scare you, it's meant to propel you forward, to take action, to move forward from the pain or the fear of whatever's keeping you small. So I hope that helps you guys. I hope you make this Monday the best Monday ever. And yeah, I hope that you make this week a wonderful week and have a awesome, beautiful, blessed day. And I will see you tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye.